I've battled this thing inside of my spirit man for a long time. And Deneen, I love what you expressed about this place of the Merkava really as an expression of our identity. And I agree with that 1000%, because it does allow us the opportunity to know who we are. And, for me, faith has a trinity, and it's faith, trust, and confidence that work together for us to have the fullness. When we say faith without works is dead, well, the works, if you will, are trusting in the Father and having confidence in him. And part of that has to do with our identity. And it really fits into what Luke was saying just a little bit ago, except I see it from a slightly different perspective. So I want to bring about another perspective of that place.
Love
because
it.
I've asked, if when you died on the cross, you said that the veil of the temple was rent in two. So the veil that separated us from that place of being able to move into and walk into and be a part of the Holy of Holies itself was no longer now a blockage. There was a pathway through the blood of Yeshua that we were able to walk into the Holy of Holies. And so in that place, I've asked the question, why do we still talk about veils? And one of the ways that I began to see this, and I agree with, and this is not a disagreement, this is just looking at what he was saying and looking at it from two perspectives, one from the outside and then one from the inside. So we agree with what we're saying here. It's just looking at it from the different perspective. And I began to look at it from the perspective of the inside of me. And so the question became then, what veils remain? What are the veils that are stopping the light of the Father to be able to penetrate in an area where
strongholds.
I may be having...
Wow.
Yeah.
The truth is the veils that remain are the veils that we placed up.
Strongholds. Exactly.
Strongholds, religion, and the religious. In other words, I can't hear God unless it comes through so and so, or I can't hear God unless it happens this way and through this thing and through this feeling and through this, and or just whatever, any kind of a veil that we place up that doesn't allow the Father to enter into that place. And I asked the Father, I said, well, if that's the case, and you remove the veil that separated us from being able to walk into the Holy of Holies, then whose responsibility is to tear these veils down? And he looked at me with a beautiful smile on his face, and he pointed back and he said, yours.
Absolutely.
Your responsibility to tear down those veils. And so when you talk about that place of the, if you will, the veiled or the muted light, it's because we have made a choice to not tear down that veil. Sometimes we want that veil up because it prevents the light of the Father from being able to penetrate something that we're holding on to. Something that we feel like is, now I may be stepping on some toes here, but you know what I'm saying? There's those places where we want to hold on to and say, let me protect. And because we don't want them illuminated.
Yep.
Well, that is something that the Father will walk you through, because that's the beauty of the Father. There's a concept in Hebrew called run and return. Sometimes the more we run away from him, in other words, block off that light, the more that he allows things to happen that allow us to see, you know what? I would rather tear that veil down than continue on the path. Let me return back to the Father. Let me rip this veil. Let me open this up. Let me allow the light of the Father to penetrate here and allow there to be the healing. Let me return back to the Father and allow him that opportunity to expose that and then heal me as a result. So it's our responsibility to tear these veils down.